Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I am doing my July wrap up. So I read a total of 20 books and 5 of them were physical books and the rest were on my Kindle. So I had a pretty great reading month. I'm happy I read 5 physical books and I'm slowly getting back into reading physical books. I just feel like reading on my Kindle is so much easier and it just seems to go by so much faster. I don't know why, it's like a weird thing. So I am happy I did read a few physical books. I feel like also towards the end of the month of July I had like a really great reading month where like the last 4 books I gave like all 4 stars. Like I was just having like a really good reading month. So the first book I read was Want You by Jen Frederick and I gave it 3 stars. It was interesting and different, but not my favorite that I've read by her. This one is a standalone. It's about a guy and a girl who meet basically on the streets and a lot of dark stuff happens. It's kind of dark, but I wouldn't say like it's that bad. Although I feel like I already forget what happened. I have a really bad memory. There was something about it that like I didn't love. I don't know. I think it was maybe where the story went at certain points. Like I feel like it wanted to be contemporary, but then it also wanted to be like a really dark romance. Like it was very confusing on where the book wanted to go. But I did enjoy it overall. Next, I read Dirty by Callie Hart. This is book 1 in the Dirty Nasty Freaks trilogy. And this I also gave 3 out of 5 stars. It is a dark romance. It's about a guy who is a hitman and he is on his way to a job and he meets this chick, I think at a hotel, like in a hotel lobby, and they have to share a room and basically the story takes off from there. It is dark. It's not like the darkest thing I read, but yeah, it was entertaining and I did like it, but again, there was just like something off for me that like I didn't want to give it more than 3 stars. And then I read the second book, which is Nasty. I also gave this one 3 out of 5 stars and it follows the same characters. It just continues their story. And again, there was just nothing that I loved, but nothing that I hated. So it was an enjoyable read. I have yet to read the third book, Frisk Me Officer by Sylvia Fox. This I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Protecting Freedom by Alexa Riley. This I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Then I read my first physical book of the month, which was The Man in the Black Suit by Sylvain Renard. This came out like back in December or something, I think, and I finally got around to reading it and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I love the way that Sylvain Renard writes about art and history and things like that. He does it so wonderful. Like it makes me want to study art. It makes me want to study like old history and art stuff, and it just like his books are just so beautiful in that way. Yeah, literally all of his books have an art element to them and I just absolutely love it. This is about a businessman who checks into a hotel and he meets this woman at the desk. I can't remember if she works at the desk. I thought she worked at like an art thing. I can't remember. And she ends up going to his hotel room because he requests her and she sees something maybe she shouldn't have. She sees an art piece that was reported stolen a couple, I think, weeks ago or maybe months ago, and she decides to call it in, and that's where the story takes off. Yeah, I just really love this book. The romance is great and I love the characters. This book is also diverse, by the way. I can't remember what Acacia's ethnicity is, but I know that she's not white. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely a favorite of mine. It's really great. Then I finally read Cracked Kingdom by Erin Watt. This is book 5 in the Royal series. It follows book 4, like after book 4, so those two you have to read together. And this I gave 3 out of 5 stars. I honestly should have read it when it came out, and I didn't, and I'm kind of mad at myself because I probably would have loved it a lot more if I read it like when it came out. There's nothing wrong with it. I think my thing is I didn't really like the characters that much as I did in the initial trilogy, so I enjoyed it, but I think if you did love the first trilogy, like, you'll still really enjoy this. Then I read I Think I Love You by Lauren Lane. This is book 5 in the Oxford series, which is the final book in the Oxford series and the Love, Sex, and Stiletto series. I think that's what it's called. It's the whole, like, wrap up of the whole series, and I am so sad it's over. So sad. I mean, Lauren Lane did say that she's still open to, like, writing more from in this world and with these characters, but, like, for now it is the final. So I'm heartbroken about it. I just love these characters so much, and I'm so sad it's over. Like, I love this whole friend group. I think it's amazing. So this is the 5th book in the series, but you don't need to read them in order. However, I do recommend that you do, because it just, you understand, like, all the characters and stuff like that. It's just funner that way. This is about a guy and a girl who are best friends, and she is having a hard time dating, and she feels like she lacks something in her, like, dating game, so she enlists her best friend to help her step up her game, and obviously they fall in love. It's just super cute, and I love it so much, and it was great. I really loved it. The next physical book I read was Bad For You by J. Daniels. This I ended up giving 3 out of 5 stars. This was actually in my predicting 5 stars video, and which this is probably a shocker. I don't know what it is about this particular, like, trilogy, but I'm not loving it as much as I love J. Daniels' other works. I don't know what it is. I just didn't love it that much. Characters were great. The romance was good, but I think it was so long and drawn out. I think that was, like, a big thing for me, is, like, it was just, like, it felt really long. Then I read Because You're Mine by Claire Contreras. This I gave 2 out of 5 stars. This is like a mafia dark romance thing. I don't know, I just don't really have much to say about it. It wasn't really memorable for me, to be honest. Then I read Love Machine by Kendall Ryan. This I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Wow, I never really thought this was kind of in the same theme of I Think I Love You. But it is. This is a best friends to lovers romance as well. This follows a guy and a girl who are best friends, and the girl decides she needs help in the bedroom, so she asks her best friend to help her, and there you go. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable. How many times can I say I enjoyed it? It was enjoyable. It was great. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't love it. I liked it, and that was it. Built for Her by Alexa Riley. This I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Then I read Craving His Best Friend's Ex by Catherine Gerberev, I think. This I received from Harlequin, so thank you so much for sending this my way. And this I gave 2 out of 5 stars. It's just super short. I feel like it's hard to read books that are, like, under 200 pages, more than 3. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just felt like I'd already read something like it. This is about a girl who breaks up with her boyfriend, and she basically runs to her ex's best friend, because they're friends, and obviously things happen after there. Then I read Moonlight Seduction by Jennifer Armentrout. This is book 2 in the De Vincent trilogy, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love this. Like, I feel like I might give this 5. I don't know. I really, really loved it. It follows the middle brother, Gabriel. It was just so good. So good. Like, I loved it so much. This series in general just follows a mystery surrounding the De Vincent family. Why, like, what's so mysterious about the brothers? People keep dying that know them or that interact with them. It's very mysterious. And they think that the mansion that they live in is haunted and all that kind of stuff. It's just really, like, interesting. And the main character is named Nicolette, which is really cool, and I loved that. And this follows Nicolette, who her parents are housekeepers for the De Vincent family, so she grew up in the house basically with the brothers, and she has loved Gabriel forever, and she went away for college, and now she's coming back home to help her parents out, and things happen. I really, really loved it. Definitely favorite of the year. It was so good. 2 Weeks Notice by Whitney G. This I gave 3 out of 5 stars. This is about a girl who works as a assistant or secretary, something like that, for a guy, and he is like the most demanding and hard to work for guy ever, and she wants to quit, but he basically says like, oh, you have to read your contract, like you can't quit, and all this kind of stuff. And the romance was great, but I just didn't really love the characters that much. So Taking What's His by Alexa Riley, this I gave 1 star. My last physical book of the month I read was Heart of Glass by Nicole Jacqueline. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. I have to say this is probably my least favorite in the trilogy or in the series, but I did still really like it. This follows a single mom who is trying to raise her kid, and the father of the child passed away, and his family are now just finding out about her and her kid, and Trevor, the dad's brother, is very interested in getting to know Morgan and her daughter, and things become more. It's really great. I really loved it. I feel like Nicole Jacqueline's books always deal with parenting and like family issues very well. I think she has just this way of writing very respectfully about like family stuff. I don't know. I just think it's really great and I loved it. I totally recommend it. It was great. The next book I read was Playboy by Katie Evans. This is the 5th book in the Man Horse series. This is like a companion book, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. This is about a guy who basically gambles for a living. Like he basically a poker player for a living, and he meets the heroine at literally at a poker meet thing. So funny. She goes on a date with a guy. The guy brings her basically to a poker match thing. Her date loses, and so bad at explaining. The guy then asks, as like in return for the other guy losing, for her to sit with him. And things take off from there, and they end up knowing each other from their friend group. Yeah, this one was super cute. I really loved it because the last like 3 books that I read in the month, like Playboy and the other 2, were basically all like the guy knew straight away that like he wanted to be with the girl. Like he didn't play mind games, or he wasn't playing like any, you know, games. Like he was straight up like, we're gonna be together and like this is a thing. And like the girls were all like unsure of everything. So I don't know, I just really love that. Yeah, the romance was great. I love the story. It was really good. Then I read Dr. Strangebeard by Penny Reed. This is book 5 in the Winston Brothers series, and this follows Roscoe, and I really love this. I feel like this is probably my least favorite in the series though, but I still really did like it. I think my problem with this book, I mean, I still gave it 4 stars, so like I didn't hate it, but I think like the reason why I couldn't give it more was because Simone really bothered me. I knew that like the huge lie would blow up in her face, like obviously. So yeah, that was like a big thing for me, and I just felt like she kept so many secrets, and like that to me would drive me insane. If I was like in a relationship and someone kept secrets, I'd be like, oh my god, like how? Roscoe was such an angel. He had so much patience, and he was just like, I honestly want to give him like a big hug. Like it was just, oh, so good. Yeah, I totally recommend this book. I loved it. I just love the Winston Brothers so much. And the last book I read was Filthy Lies by Rain Miller. This is book 2 in the Blackstone Dynasty. This basically follows a chick who has had a crush on her older brother's best friend forever. He had gotten this ultimatum from his dad that he has to marry and have kids as soon as possible, and he for some reason looks to her for that. It was super cute. I loved it so much. Yeah, it was great. I really loved it. I think it was just a great romance. I really enjoyed it. I don't have any words to say. So yeah, those were all of the books that I read in the month of July. Let me know how many books you guys read last month and which one was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.